Being nice and always available is often mistaken for charm. It's time to face the harsh truth. If you're always going out of your way to please her, you're not winning her love. You're just making her laugh at your cost. Women don't wait for a knight in shining armor. They can tell when you're desperate and weak before you can ask, "Why is she ignoring me?" But Stoicism can change everything. It's about controlling your reactions, keeping your self-respect, and never settling for being ignored. Instead of chasing them, let them chase you. By embodying the Stoic principles of strength and self-control, you'll command respect and change how people see you. If you're ready to stop being a doormat and start being a man who demands respect, then this is your wake-up call. Watch this movie to change how you talk to her and learn how to become someone she doesn't want to lose. Don't forget to click like and subscribe and help us change how you see your worth. First, both you and she can be replaced. To ground ourselves in the Stoic view of reality, everyone is replaceable. If the thought of being replaceable bothers you, it might be because you haven't fully grasped how temporary and interchangeable relationships are. In love, no one is so important that they can't be replaced. Believing that someone else can make you happy is a form of self-deception that goes against the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. While you may be stuck on the idea that she is the only person worth your time, keep in mind that she probably knows that other people could take your place if you left. Realizing this shouldn't make you weaker, instead it should make you stronger. Stoicism teaches us not to depend on other people for our mental stability. If you're always there for her, she can give you whatever attention she wants while she calmly thinks about her options. There are many other people who can treat you with the respect and appreciation you deserve. If you keep putting up with being treated as an afterthought, always available and content, you're not practicing the Stoic virtue of self-respect. Know that just as you can be replaced, so can she. This isn't about putting others down, it's about recognizing your own worth and refusing to be someone's backup plan. When you follow the Stoic principle of self-value and refuse to be treated as less, you change the balance of power. As long as you're looking for attention, you're letting yourself be trampled. This is a clear consequence of your actions that Stoicism tells us to think about. When you realize that you're not tied to anyone, and that she is just one of many options, you free yourself. What happens when she sees that you've stopped playing the waiting game? She may pursue you, not because you've manipulated the situation, but because she realizes how valuable you are. Your absence makes her rethink her previous lack of interest in you. Suddenly, you're not an option, you're a challenge. Something beyond her easy grasp, so the next time you want to put yourself down to get attention, remember this lesson. There are better people than you two. There are many people in the world who will see how valuable you are and treat you with respect. But you won't meet them until you stop wasting time with someone who only sees you as an option. Stand tall, move your crown figuratively, and take a step forward. Embrace the many chances that life gives you. Knowing your own worth is the key to not only finding a better partner, but also changing the way your relationships work in general. Accept less than you earn. You are in charge of your life in this game. Move on and show the world how valuable you really are. Number 2, Stoicism teaches us the virtue of not wanting attention. Self-control and valuing ourselves are important principles that apply perfectly to how we act in relationships. Clinging to a desperate need for attention can easily lower one's status. So why degrade oneself by constantly seeking validation, by messaging someone non-stop and obsessing over small details of their life? These behaviors are forms of mod slavery, where one becomes a slave to the affection of another, which Stoics would argue against, stressing the importance of freedom from external validation. When you act in this way, you're not only predictable and replaceable, you're also ignoring the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of building an inner citadel, which means making your mind strong so you're not easily swayed by outside events like someone not paying attention. For example, if you think she hasn't seen your message because she's busy, you're probably lying to yourself. More likely, she's aware but doesn't care because she knows you're always available. Epicus would say that insisting on her attention is giving up your freedom, but Garner doesn't value you. Instead, she sees you as nothing more than a convenience. Every message you send out of despair shows that you don't value yourself. Stoicism doesn't say that you should become a background character in someone else's story. Instead, it says that you should live your own life with honor and respect. So, if you follow the Stoic principle of not caring about things that are out of your control, like someone else's attention or approval, when she pulls away, use that as a chance to practice apatha, or freedom from passions. Sena taught that the only way to find true happiness is to work on yourself and stop trying to please other people. By adopting a Stoic mindset, you take back control of your emotions and actions. She will notice this change. The less you react to her lack of interest, the more she realizes that you are not at her beck and call. This newfound mystery and independence often reignite interest as you become a figure of strength and self-assurance, deeply attractive to others. So the next time you feel like you need to get her attention, remember Marcus Aurelius's words. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Focus on developing your mind and spirit. Enjoy the company of friends, get into your hobbies, and strengthen your body. This approach isn't about manipulating them. It's about respecting yourself and living a life that the Stoics would admire, one that's full of independence and wealth, with or without her. Ultimately, it's about making sure that if anyone should be chasing after your peace and strength, it should be her. This is in line with the Stoic vision of living a principled life. Number 3. Don't give in to manipulation. Your greatest weapon is being immune to their tricks. A truth that is often overlooked is that some women are very aware of how they can control men's feelings, and they take advantage of it cruelly. For them, it's a game, and you are the pawn. The mastermind will push you to your limits, tease you, and see how much you can handle to keep their favor. It's easier than you think to get out of this trap than you might think. All you have to do is show that she has no control over you, not just words or empty promises. She does this by putting distance between herself and you, either by ignoring you or sending a cutting message to upset you. That's when you should respond with calmness and detachment, being polite but with the chill of someone who doesn't care about her antics. Be kind but keep your distance, as if her attempts to upset you had gone unnoticed. The trick is to act as if her actions don't affect you at all. If she's playing with your feelings, then her actions don't matter. When you show that much emotional strength and don't let anything bother you, you deal a big blow to her ego. She was expecting to see someone desperate for her attention, but instead she sees a man who just keeps going as if nothing happened. This kind of calmness wakes her up, because it breaks the cycle of emotional dominance she thought she had over you. But be careful. Don't think this is just pretense or playing hard to get. The goal isn't to look superior, but to genuinely believe in yourself and feel safe in knowing that her actions don't affect your peace. You're acting this way because you know your own worth and that her approval doesn't define you. Once she realizes that her tactics are working, the whole story changes. She starts to question her actions, her control over you, and whether she has underestimated the kind of man you are. Sticking with it. Not only will her view of you change, but her respect for you will also grow significantly. Because really, what does she really want? A man she can control at will, or someone who stands his ground and doesn't play silly emotional games? The answer is clear. Respect and attraction are intertwined, and when you present yourself as unmovable, she's compelled to view you in a new light. So the next time she attempts to play games, remember you are in command. It's not about victory or defeat, but about refusing to engage. You are the master of your emotional journey, and when she realizes she cannot sway you, that's when the dynamics shift. She'll find herself pursuing you, trying to figure out what changed, and importantly, how she might regain your attention. Ultimately, you are the victor. For staying true to your principles, for preserving your dignity, and that, my friend, is the hallmark of a true Stoic. Number 4. It's you who's ignoring. For far too long, you've played the role of the ever-present, ever-willing participant, consistently offering your attention and energy even when met with nothing but cold indifference or profound silence from her. This habitual availability, while noble has not served you well. But what's changing now is not merely your tactics, but your entire mindset. Setting clear limits and showing that you're not someone who passively accepts bad treatment isn't about getting even. It's about following the Stoic principle of self-respect. In Stoicism, the focus is often on the importance of mutual respect and the two-way flow that should naturally happen in any healthy relationship. If she sees you as an option instead of a priority, the Stoic response is to think things through and take action. This isn't about getting back at her or being angry. It's about protecting your own dignity and self-worth. Stoic wisdom teaches us the virtue of knowing when to leave relationships and situations that don't honor our inherent worth. When you decide to no longer put up with disrespect, you're not just setting boundaries, you're reclaiming your power. You go from being a passive victim of her whims to an assertive person who commands respect. Ignoring someone who keeps ignoring your worth is not a sign of carelessness. It's a strong sign that you see and respect your worth. If she wants your attention and care, she has to show that she deserves it. Stoics believed that life is a two-way street. If she's not willing to give you even the smallest amount of respect, then why should you keep putting in the time, effort, and emotional energy? By taking this stance, you not only protect your own self-esteem, but you also show that you are not someone who can be ignored or treated as an option. This clear and unwavering message lets her know that you know what you're worth, and if she doesn't see it, that's her loss, not yours. Also remind us that self-worth comes from within, and that we should not depend on others to define it for us by ignoring her when she ignores you. You're not engaging in petty games or manipulative tactics. You are practicing a form of emotional self-defense that is both justified and necessary. If she cannot treat you with the basic decency and respect you deserve, then she does not merit your attention. When she realizes that you no longer dance to the tune she plays, she may begin to reconsider her approach often. People only value what they fear, losing when confronted with the reality that they might lose someone who understands their worth. They may start to alter their behavior. So my friend, do not hesitate to mirror her disinterest if that's the energy she brings. This is not about lowering yourself to her level, but about elevating your standards to the height where they should have always been. If she can't rise to meet them, then she has no place in your life. Be firm, be unshakable, and above all, don't be afraid to show that you're the master of your destiny. You notice. And when that happens, you'll already be far ahead, living your life enriched by self-respect and not looking back after all those who truly value themselves. Never remain at the mercy of someone else's whims or neglect. Number 5, never tolerate being ignored. Let's be frank, which is precisely what Stoic wisdom would urge you to be. Stop putting up with rudeness. It's important to remember this lesson every time you let her treat you like an aside, forget about you, or not see how valuable you are. The moment you don't stand up for yourself, you give up your value, and when you do that, you become just another choice. If you keep settling for little attention, pleading for any sign of affection, and relegating yourself to her backup plan, you're not only underselling yourself, you're basically saying that you don't matter. It's brutally honest, but no woman will respect a man who doesn't respect himself. Putting your worth forward. By setting clear boundaries and showing that you deserve respect, you set yourself up to be ignored. The stark truth is that she doesn't respect you because you haven't shown that you respect yourself. She ignores you because you let her. She doesn't care about your feelings because she knows you'll always be there, willing to take whatever little she gives you until you change this dynamic. If you want her respect, you won't get it. Take this not-so-secret advice to heart. Start by putting a value on yourself. Don't settle for second best or less because you think it's better than nothing. That way of thinking will beat true Stoic men. If she can't give you full respect, thought, and mutual respect, the only smart thing to do is to walk away. It's not your job to change her mind or convince her of your worth. She has to see it for herself, and if she doesn't, she's the one who loses. A man who knows what he wants, treats himself with respect, and won't put up with being abused will draw someone who really cares about him. Let's be honest. Life is too short to waste time worrying about someone's respect. Stand strong, value yourself, and show the world and her that you are not just anybody accepting inferior treatment or begging for scraps will only pull you deeper into despair, and the only person capable of lifting you out is you. It's time to step out of the shadows of potential and into the light of what you truly deserve. You are the master of your fate, the author of your narrative, and this narrative does not require, nor should it include anyone who fails to recognize your value. If she can't see your worth, that's her loss, not yours. Move forward with confidence because ultimately the respect you need is your own. Never let anyone undermine your value or cause you to question what you deserve if they can't see it. That's their problem. You're here to be respected, not disregarded, and if that means severing ties with those who fail to see your worth, so be it. At the end of the day, the person who needs to look in the mirror and feel proud is you. So take control, establish your limits, and make your life truly worth living. Remember, you set the terms of your life. Don't let anyone convince you, otherwise you deserve better, and it's time. The world recognized it. If this resonates with you, please show your support by liking this video and leaving a comment below with the word "I deserve better." Your engagement helps us spread these timeless Stoic principles to others who may benefit from them. Now let's continue. Number 6. Putting it behind you in the Stoic way. Fairness and self-respect are not only good things to have, they are necessary for living a good life. This is especially true in relationships where you may feel ignored or undervalued. In these situations, many men give up, letting their emotions cloud their judgment. But if you practice Stoicism, you have the chance to show a different path, one of dignity and self-confidence. When a woman starts to ignore or pull away from you, it's a crucial test. Some usual reactions are confusion, stubbornly looking for answers, or trying to save the link at all costs, often results in losing one's honor and power. Stoicism, on the other hand, teaches us to keep our cool and stay true to ourselves no matter what happens around us. Think about the usual situation. A woman who is always the center of attention and has a lot of admirers meets a man who doesn't respond the way you'd expect him to when you tell him you don't care about her. This man is an outlier who doesn't follow the normal rules of emotional engagement. The Stoic reaction in this situation is not only helpful, it changes things. By choosing to move on, you show that your self-worth is real and cannot be negotiated. This action alone makes you stand out, showing a rare strength that goes against the norm. This decision to move on is based on the Stoic philosophy, which says that you should value your own freedom and inner peace over approval from others. By making this choice, you show that you are not easily moved by whims or manipulations, but instead are guided by a clear understanding of your virtues and values. This isn't about emotionally pulling away, it's about refocusing on things you can control, like your goals, hobbies, and growth. This pose has a deep effect because it tells people that you are not someone's toy or emotional experiment. You are a real person with depth. As long as you follow principles that value emotional growth and mutual respect, moving on will not only save you pain, but it will also send a strong message that you value yourself too much to play one-sided emotional games. Moving on isn't about ignoring or not caring about other people. It's about realizing how important your mental peace and time are. It's a statement that the direction of your life is up to you, not other people's feelings. In a world where emotional reactions are common, choosing Stoicism is a choice for those who want to live a calm life. Detachment is revolutionary, but when you really detach and move on, the dynamics often change. The realization that she no longer controls you may make her think twice about what she did, but by then, you are in charge. You decide if she deserves a place in your life based on Stoic criteria of mutual respect and value, not out of desperation or manipulation. So move forward not out of spite, but with Stoic strength, leaving behind those who don't value you and making room for those who do. If you follow this philosophy, you don't just get through emotional trials, you thrive. That way lies a future that sees and values your worth. That's the steady way, always moving forward. Never again. Number 7. Led by knowledge and self-respect, rewire your mind for success. Let's take a moment to talk about how our minds work. When you look at your phone, hoping someone will answer when they're not looking at you, you're basically getting hooked on dopamine. Loop a lot like a gambler who awaits the next big win. According to Stoic wisdom, we should focus on what we can control and not count too much on approval from others. It's time to readjust our dopamine levels and get our mental peace back. Here is a 7-day plan to help you clean up and start over. On days 1 and 2, stay away from social media. The frequent alerts and social comparisons can make it a lot worse. Stress and worry. Taking this break will help your mind relax and stop making pointless comparisons. 3 and 4 days. You should only use your phone when you have to. Send important texts, but don't browse or check your notifications for no reason. This change is very important for breaking free from the need for outside help. 5 and 6 of the proof days. Don't watch TV. Instead of using streaming services, do things that help you be more aware, like reading, meditating, or spending time with people you care about. On day 7, spend the whole day outside without any digital devices. Focus on reconnecting with yourself and your surroundings and thinking about your feelings and thoughts without any digital distractions. During this detox time, do healthy things that naturally raise your dopamine levels, like working out, learning new skills, or having deep conversations with friends who care about you. By the end of this detox, you'll no longer need outside approval as much because your brain will have been retrained to find happiness in more stable places. Imagine that you've been trying to get someone's attention, but they keep avoiding your texts instead of checking your notifications all the time. Frustrated, you decide to take on this 7-day detox challenge. You start with a digital clean slate. Cut down on how much you use your phone and watch less TV. Instead, start a new hobby like learning the guitar. You talk to old friends again about deep and important things. By the end of this week, you'll feel happier and less focused on their attention. You'll have picked up a new skill, made new friends, and found joy in activities that really make your life better. As you go through this journey, you live out the Stoic ideal of focusing on what you can control and finding happiness within. This strategy doesn't just help you reset, it strengthens the Stoic virtues of self-discipline and inner peace. Remember that the best way to deal with feeling ignored is to build a strong sense of self-worth and find happiness within, not from the fleeting attention of others. 8th, be thankful for what you have. It's easy to focus on what you think you're losing, especially if the person you're interested in isn't responding. Stoicism can help you deal with this. If you've been texting someone and haven't heard back in days, you might be wondering what you did wrong or why they don't like you. Instead of getting stuck in these loops, focus on what you can control and find peace in the present. Let's change our focus. First, be grateful for what you do have. Think about your strengths, your talents, and the people who matter to you. Are you a good friend? Are you dedicated at work? Are you always trying to do the right thing? These are the things that define you and make you valuable. One useful thing you can do is write down 3 things you're thankful for every day in an attitude journal. These things can be as simple as a sunny day, a good chat with a friend, or something new you learned. By regularly practicing gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's present. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings. Instead, it means recognizing them and choosing to focus on what makes you happy. Remember that Stoicism teaches us to take charge of how we react to what life throws at us. If you're feeling ignored, don't look to other people for approval. Instead, look within yourself and see how much you're valued. Being overlooked by one person doesn't define your worth. By practicing gratitude and appreciating what you have, you build resilience and find inner peace. This strength radiates from you, naturally attracting positive relationships and opportunities. Let's focus on gratitude and enjoy the happiness it brings into our lives, aligning ourselves with Stoic principles and improving our overall outlook. As this look at Stoic knowledge and how to use it comes to an end, ICAL uses in our personal lives. Without a doubt, the way to self-respect and sincere admiration is not to change other people, but to change ourselves. Stoicism isn't just a set of ideas, it also gives us useful advice that can help us live dignified, self-controlled, and peaceful lives. By shifting our attention from looking for approval from others to improving our own sense of worth, we can have more satisfying relationships and a strong sense of personal fulfillment. Adopting these principles means realizing that our worth doesn't go down just because someone doesn't see it. It's about keeping our balance and not letting other people's lack of interest or manipulation affect us. By consistently using these Stoic insights, we not only protect our emotional health, but also attract people who truly value and connect with our true selves. If this movie gave you a new perspective or made you think about how you treat your partners, please click the like button and leave a comment with your thoughts or experiences. Are there certain Stoic practices that really changed your life? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to watch the videos on the screen right now for more information on how Stoicism can improve different parts of your life. These resources are meant to help you live a life of discipline and personal growth. For those of you who watched, thank you. Remember that every step you take to improve yourself is a step toward a happier life. If you want to read more about the depth of Stoic wisdom and how it applies to today's world, subscribe. This is where your road to a more stoic, respectful, and self-assured life continues.